Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LEGO podcast with Plastic Scot and Daley Tactics. Today, we have some very fun things to talk about. We got some LEGO leaks that we're going to be going over. I've moved house, so my setup is no longer in a kitchen, which is pretty gas.
Yes! Yes, finally! We don't have to see what Daley's been eating for lunch that day.
Yeah, see what I've been cooking up. I have to say, there's a lot of moving boxes still, and right now it's just a blank background. And
I don't know what your webcam's going to be like. Yeah, because that...
Yeah, my...
Technical difficulties.
It was bad. Yeah, so my webcam broke. The cord bent, and I guess it just, borked the USB. And so now I tried buying a fancy new webcam that my computer will not recognize. So I just spent like $100+ on this thing that is just like a brick of nothing. And I'm using my LEGO camera.
Yeah.
Which is, I should be in beautiful, 1080p, glorious, really nice lens. I should be looking good right now, but it is the most awkward angle of all time.
I suspect, Daley, that you could be. I think that this isn't a camera problem. I think this is a Daley lack of technical skills problem. Now, I've just tried to help him with some technical support, and I'm quite convinced that had I been in that setup, I've taken him through some basic settings and that kind of stuff. His computer's only got 2 USB 3 ports to begin with, which is slightly concerning, considering mine's got 8. But I think this is a you problem.
When did you buy your computer? Mine is older, dude.
Mate, I got mine
USB
3 years ago. 3.5 years ago?
Oh, I got mine at the same time.
Yeah! Yeah, shut it. This is a Daley problem, so I don't know what his webcam's going to look like. And to add to the spice as well, I'm currently rendering out, in fact, you know what, I can actually very quickly show you. I'm currently rendering out a 24-hour just about, a LEGO, animation, thingy. And so therefore, I might be dropping frames as well. I've already reduced my frame rate from 60 down to 30. I might be dropping frames. Daley's webcam is busted. Technical issues across the board. Welcome back to the LEGO podcast.
Wait, what do you mean 24? How did you get 24 hours of LEGO footage? Did you do a building marathon?
No.
What did you do to get that?
No. So so I'm showing on camera now so people can see. It's using the LEGO Studio. So it's a 3D model and it's a build time lapse of you can see all the bricks falling down. So it's a 10-second time lapse at 30 frames per second, so 300 frames. So it has to render out each individual frame, and then it makes a 10-second MP4 out of it. And so it literally...
So you're doing this for 24 hours for a 10-second clip in your video?
Yes. It probably won't... In the video, it probably will only be reduced down to 2 seconds anyway. It might not even get used
Scott,
in the video.
Scott. Yeah, do you remember how we've had many discussions on time management and... and do you remember how many of your fans complain that you never post LEGO videos?
Well, yeah, I do. I over-engineer them. I over-engineer just a little bit.
Let's see. Your last one was 4 weeks ago, which I guess isn't that bad.
Yeah,
but then before that, it's 2 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
Well, there should be one coming out. There should be one coming out either tonight or tomorrow, which is actually this one just over here. That's just next to me back here. And then I'm reassessing the schedule. So from now on, I'm actually making a big change on the channels. So I'm gonna on each channel, I'm gonna alternate between Friday uploads. So I am going to be starting. Hopefully next week, if the Minecraft editor can get the video done by Friday, hopefully by next Friday, it'll be one Friday will be a main channel upload, and then the following Friday will be a LEGO channel upload at the same time every single Friday. So every week alternating.
That's never gonna happen.
Right, because you said that, I'm gonna do it. All you're doing is motivating me.
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
If that's what it takes to get you to upload content, yeah, I'll be your doubter. I'll be your biggest hater.
You're right though, mate. And also just to be clear, so this render that I'm doing. So this is for the next LEGO video after this one, by the way. This is for something I'm cooking up, a really exciting video I'm cooking up actually. But this is I've done about 4 days straight of these massive day-long renders for that video so far. So yes, I maybe do fall victim to over-engineering my videos and making them needlessly complicated and maybe prioritizing the wrong things, but it's passion at the end of the day. Like I like doing that. Do you know what I mean? I like it.
If the quality is there, there will be an audience. But can you give us like a sneak peek? Like what?
Okay, I can do that.
What's the theme? What's the?
Okay,
break the news here on the Lego podcast.
Okay, I will. Okay, I will do exactly that. And what I will do is I'll quickly like show it on screen, and maybe I can even like send you something. Okay, so if I go into where is it? If I go into my Lego assets, my render and animation, everyone's getting to see some file management right here. I hope you guys enjoy this file management.
You're gonna get a little sneak peek of your naughty files.
Right. Okay. So this is the first time anyone's gonna be able to see this here. But I'll send it to you in a second, Daley, so that you can see it. But like, this is the sort of thing I've been cooking up. So what I'll do is I'll take this off the webcam and then I'll show you, and then I can get the reaction from it now. Okay. So have a look at that and then tell me what you think. I'm sending it to you on Discord now.
Okay.
And now I think it's really, really cool. It's something I've been working on. It's been something I've been working on to try and try and elevate the content. It's just.
Did you send me a 0-second clip of nothing?
No, I sent you might have to download it.
This is a white screen.
Yeah, it's because you're trying to watch it on Discord. If you download it, then you'll be able to watch it, okay? Now,
okay, all right.
It's cool. It is cool. What people have just seen, if you haven't seen it, once Daley's seen it, I don't want to spoil it for it, and then I'll describe it. If you didn't see it, I will describe it to people once Daley's had an opportunity to watch it. And if Daley can't figure out how to watch a video file, which...
No, I figured it out. All right, wait, let me describe it, because this will be from an outside perspective, and I'll guess what the video is about, and then you can correct me. All right, so it's at like 100 different British soldiers. It's just kind of panoraming around them. Are you building the World War II British Army in Lego? Is that what's going on here?
Okay, so... no, what I'm doing is, like I said in a previous podcast, well, it's sort of, I guess, so I'm going, way more historical with my videos now, rather than just, I built a generic kind of Omaha-inspired D-Day video. Instead, I'm going to go really, really, really down to the detail. I'm using aerial reconnaissance photography from World War II on the day, on June 6, 1944, and I'm going to recreate a very specific portion. So Sword Beach, Queen, Red Sector, Strong Point 20, better known as the Twin Villas, and I'm actually using aerial reconnaissance photography to build that specific portion of that beach on that day as it was, with the trenches and everything in line. And so that what you've just seen there is in the script it'll be something like that, animation of a bunch of British soldiers being built as the camera spins around. That will probably be over our voiceover, which goes something along the lines of, now to do this I'm going to need a massive British army, and then that clip will be playing there. So yeah, that is a big substantial file that took a long time to figure out how to do, and it took a very long time to render, and it will take up only a couple of seconds in that video, but it's captivating. I think it's captivating.
Oh yeah, I think that's sick. Yeah, no, that'll be really cool. I mean, everyone likes D-Day. I think that's a brilliant idea. This is for the museum you're doing, right? No,
so this one's not for the Gordon Highlanders, but this is going to be this is essentially a precursor to that, where I'm then going to do the Gordon Highlanders builds. I'm going to go to the museum and be look at what I've done here. I'd like to do this for you. Here's how I'm going to do it and all that kind of stuff, and walk them through it. So I'm going to use it as a method of evidencing, because what I don't want to do is go to the museum and be right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this, and then they look at the channel, and the most recent video on the channel is the 3 tanks driving down the road video, so to speak. So I want to get some proper history stuff out there first, to then justify being right, we're going to do these 4 videos, and I'm going to do these 4 builds and donate them all to the museum and that kind of stuff. So it's just basically a precursor to that.
Okay, nice. I mean, that I think that's fire, absolutely. But I think get them done quicker, Scott. We want to watch your videos, bro.
Yeah.
We can't be waiting hours every time.
Yeah, so
you gotta.
I gotta refine the process. Well, I don't. So the problem is as well. I think So this is something we got back to before. It's I'm really, really excited by these projects that I'm working on at the minute. They are much bigger, more complicated, time-consuming projects. But to some degree, I need to yes, of course, I need to refine the process. But I think the passion and the craft that goes into it is what makes it something that I want to continue doing. Like, so like I think a lot of creators, like they kind of just do only what like get some views without any of like what they actually enjoy doing, and then therefore they've got like creators often have like a lifetime on the platform of maybe less than 5 years for some of them. But if you really enjoy and you're passionate about what you're doing, then you could be there for 15, 20. I could be here for years. I could be here for years if I'm doing something that I really care about. Which is
absolutely.
And I want every video as well. Like this is part of the problem I had on the main channel recently, where sometimes I upload a video. I'll be honest, my most recent Roblox video, Roblox Entrenched, like the Ottoman Gallipoli kind of map thing, it just didn't really tell a story, and like I'm not proud of the content. Like and it's that sort of thing where I'm just like it's just like I don't really enjoy having posted that video because I don't feel proud of it. And so I'm trying to find ways of doing that on both channels. But I don't know. That's just me.
No, I completely get that. I mean, there was a time when I was kind of uploading schlock on the Lego channel because I thought, oh, this will get views. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, yeah, I want to get views because I need to make money, you know, like that's part of it. But at the same time, I was like, this video, I didn't like the topic. This isn't something I would click on. I don't want to post that. So now I do videos, even though like they might not be the biggest views, I'm still like, this is something I find really interesting that I want to do. And therefore I'm going to do it, even though it might not, like I can do a million different of the same video and get the views that I want to get on the Lego channel, you know, but I found that if I'm enticed by the video, I'm going to get it done faster. It's going to be a better video. And I think people stick around more, and the subscriber rate is way higher because people are more interested in that video. You know, like I did my fake Lego video, recent, like I uploaded it yesterday, and I had a lot of fun doing it because I was like, I really enjoy looking at really, really crappy fake Lego, you know?
Yeah.
And doing the price comparisons and like looking into like, oh my God, this Lego set is $50. You could buy the same fake one for $5, literally like 10% of the price, and comparing the two and like seeing which one's better, which one's worse, discussing that kind of stuff. It's like way more interesting to me. I mean, we've had the same, you know, Lego is expensive conversation 3 times on this podcast. Because it's interesting and it's fun to talk about. And so doing that is way more interesting to me than doing the exact same, you know, video over and over again. So I've been really enjoying doing different stuff that I'm interested in versus just doing what is going to get me the most views. But I mean, I still do sprinkle in like, oh, this is, you know, it's like illegal Lego weapons is always my go-to. It's like, okay, this is going to get me views and I need some views for this sponsor. Like, all right, I'll use it, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, so long as you enjoy the process of like creating the video, that is noticeable.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've noticed is like actually my Minecraft videos on the main channel have been performing incredibly well. I am very proud of those videos and I really enjoy making them. Do you want to know? I've been scraping through the data on the main channel, right? And the last 3 Minecraft videos I've published have gained me 6,000 subscribers from 3 videos, right? And then, so I was...
That's pretty good.
And so I was like, right, so how many Roblox videos does it take to match that? And I'll let you guess, how many Roblox videos do you think it took to match the growth from just 3 Minecraft videos?
Well, like, what's the view count between the two? Like, similar views or less?
So the Roblox, okay. Well, regardless,
now it seems like Roblox does a lot worse. Actually.
Yeah. Regardless of view count, like in terms of just overall subscriber growth, regardless of view count, like just 3 Minecraft videos, like how many Roblox videos do you think it took to get like because again, like this, like the views and like the subscriber gain from it, like I'm less concerned about the views, because if a video gets 100,000 views but I only gain 50 subscribers from it, that's not longevity, because nobody's like, yes, it did well that time round, but nobody's subscribing to watch more of it. So I'm a lot more concerned about like the subscriber growth. So 3 Minecraft videos, 6,000 subscribers. How many Roblox videos do you think it took to match that?
Maybe like, maybe double 6, maybe?
19. 19.
Wow.
3 Minecraft videos outperformed 19. My previous 19 Roblox videos. Yeah, wild. And every single one of those Roblox videos I produced, I made a massive loss on it. Basically, like some of like the Roblox Windward video gained me 71 subscribers, and yet the video cost me like $350 to get edited, and like another $50 thumbnail, like $400. Down the drain. I made.
Which one was that?
The Roblox Windward. It's like the Navy. It's like a British Navy. It's like the thumbnail's like a guy who's like sinking.
Drowning. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I lost $300 on that video just outright. And also basically didn't gain any tangible subscribers from it, and therefore it was just a waste of time. And so, so what I'm doing is I'm coming back from that now, and I'm just going to try and like replicate the same strategy on the main channel that I did on the Lego channel, and post like every 2 weeks, but just make sure every video is like a banger. And I suppose on top of that, there's a little bit of like to be completely honest about it, I think there's a little bit of like shallowness in my motivations for it as well. Like sometimes when I'm thinking about like the videos on the channel, I'm thinking about what other people's perception of it is, and I'm concerned about like if they see that like I've got lots of videos that don't have many views, and like people are gonna think less of the channel, or like think it's fallen off, or that kind of stuff. And so like
100%,
and that all kind of goes into it. And so like I'm kind of obsessing over trying to get every video, like a backlog of like really well performing videos, because it's almost like an embarrassment or shame element that comes into it when your views like aren't doing like so well. It's interesting,
dude. Whenever I get the freaking like "you fell off" comment, like it cuts to the core. It's like, oh, come on, you know, like it. I mean, it is shallow, but it's like, yeah, it does hurt to know that you've like taken a step down from where you were or whatever. You know, like it's brutal to hear that for sure. For sure.
Yeah, another thing that I like consider with it as well, which again is just like shallow. It's thinking rather than just of course I'm passionate and I'm also like take pride in my work, but there is still the external factor of like when I'm in the barracks. Of course, I won't speak too much about it, but like when I'm with like a bunch of like ex-regular soldiers and whatnot, like I don't want them to be looking at my channels and being like, he's this idiot is just publishing schlop on like what is this mess?
Yeah.
I want people to take me seriously. I think again, like it's kind of like I suppose a bit of a shallow like perception, but like I'm thinking like 5 years time, I want to have like a history documentary channel where like I'm actually going to visit battlefields and doing like proper historical documentary coverage with real people telling real stories and all that kind of stuff. And that's where I want to be going towards. And so every time I publish one of these Roblox videos that I'm not happy with, I'm just like, it just takes a bit of my soul. It takes a bit of me.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that would be I would be in if you wanted to collab on that together.
Yes. Yes. I'll add it to the list.
Fire.
Add it to the list.
Dude. Historical podcast where every episode we go over a different battle. Oh.
That would actually be really good.
That'd be fire. I'm just saying, maybe a future collab. Just, you know.
Oh, but the thing is, we've got this is a problem as well. Like the curse of like a creative YouTuber is, I've just got so many things I want to do, and I just wish I had like the people and the resources to help me do it. Like I would love to have like a team of people where I'm like they can just help me produce those videos on the side, but like without sacrificing my existing content and channels as a result. And so you just come down to like feeling like you've kind of got like a limiter on, feeling like you're like you've at a bottleneck. Like there's so much I could and I want to do, I just don't have the time, resources, and finances in order to actually do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal, man. Like wanting to do something so bad, but then it's like not having the time to and stuff like that. Like that's something that I constantly have to deal with right now, because like I love the Lego channel, but it's a bit of a time suck. Like I want to do these other things in the afternoon, but then it's like I have this Lego build that I know is going to take me 4 hours to complete. I have to get it done, you know? I don't know if you know this, but like I do a lot of like writing and stuff like that, and I finally finished writing the first book in a series that I'm doing on like Army Men Toy Wars. It's based on one of my
no way
series on Daily Tactics. Yeah,
nice.
It's pretty sick. Like I'm very excited about it, but editing it takes a long time to read through and then adjust and edit, and I've just like been delaying, and I'm like, I really need to get this done. Like, I want to. I know I'm not going to make a lot of money on it, but it's like a passion project. It's one of my goals that I really want to do. But at the same time, I'm like, I got to get the Lego video done because that's what pays the bills. Or, you know, I got to get the Daily Tactics video done because, I have a mortgage. Like, being an adult now, like, doing YouTube back when I was, like, not really dependent on it for money and to pay bills and stuff like that, it was so much more, like, free because I could do what I wanted when I wanted. And now, like, I still do stuff that I want to do because, like, I wouldn't be able to do Lego or to do YouTube if it was only a job. Like, I have to have an interest in it to do it. But at the same time, I'm like, oh man, I really, like, I want to do this, but at the same time, I gotta do this video instead. Yeah. Especially with Daily Tactics, that's sometimes how it feels, is like, I want to do Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator videos, but it's just dead content now. I want to do more, like, World War II videos and World War I videos. It's dead content. So, like, I still do them, but it's much more sparingly because it's like, it's just not going to get views anymore, you know?
Yeah, it's everything. Like, that's the thing. As like, I've realized, now that I've been full time for a couple of years, is everything is just like choosing what to sacrifice. Whether it be like, if you're invested, like for me, like, and I'm sure this is the exact same for you, like, if I'm investing time and resources into the Lego channel, then it means I'm not putting that time and resources into the main channel, so that's going to suffer and pull back ever so slightly. And then also, if I'm investing a lot of my time and effort into both channels, and then also like joining the army at the same time, like, then it means that I have no social life. And so you're just, it's like choosing where to invest your resources, and everything is a sacrifice of something else to some degree. But that's why, for me, it's so important to be passionate and to be interested in what I'm doing. And that's why, even though the upload schedule isn't like on the Lego channel isn't like super consistent, I'm like really happy with every video that I publish, and I'm proud of them. Like, I can actually sit down and like out of enjoyment, like when I'm like eating, I can go back and I can watch one of my old Lego videos and actually like sit there and like appreciate like the level of like craft that's gone into it. Whereas like one of these old like schlop gameplay Roblox videos, or especially like if you go even further back, like I'll open a video and I'll be like,
That was kind of a big thing for me too with Daily Tactics, where I was uploading a lot of schlop a few years ago, and like, I still, the content strategy there is still more production versus quality. But at the same time, I started to put just like a little extra time into like making a little cinematic intro, or, really like re-recording the intro 10 different times to captivate the audience, and then like really making sure my commentary isn't schlop and it's actually pretty good, and like making the battles, just like spending an extra like 30 minutes on the battles to make sure like there's dynamic things happening to keep it interesting and it's not just like the same thing over and over again. And I feel so much better looking at my content now and being like, oh, if a first time watcher is watching this, they will be entertained. And it's really affected the average view duration.
Yeah.
My AVD used to be like 5 minutes. If it was a 30-minute video, it would be 5 minutes.
Right.
And that's not great.
No.
It has now been like 9 to 11 minutes for 30 minutes videos, which is like, to me, that speaks that people are more entertained by the videos now that I've put that extra effort into it. And that's like a huge reward in and of itself, is like, okay, people aren't just like clicking on the videos, but they're like watching. They're invested in it. They want to see the outcome. They want to see what happens, and I'm not annoying them with my commentary or anything like that. And that's just like a good feeling,
Yeah, and also like one thing is to note on that as well is like your view to subscriber ratio is like will be significantly higher as well. Like for example, my Lego channel like generates it generates a quarter of the views that the main channel generates, but it gets half the subscriber growth. In other words, per view, the Lego channel per view generates double the subscribers that the main channel does, because the quality, the interest, and the appeal is just there. So that's that's the direction I'm kind of heading in. But I don't want to hound this point too much, because we have also got some other things to discuss, which Daley has prepared again for us, some Lego leaks,
sir.
and there's one in particular which I'm very interested to discuss because it was a hot topic on a previous podcast, maybe even the first podcast actually. So, Daley, take it away.
All right. So let's go in order, Scott. Since I'm using my camera, you have to be Mr. Screen, if that's okay.
Showing screen at present, and I've started with the Dark Falcon, the Dark Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, let's just go in the order I sent them to you, if that works.
Yes.
But basically, we've got some. We knew about these Lego sets for a while now, but we're getting our first ever images of them. Some of these are leaked images, some of them are official promo images, but we've got the Dark Falcon, which is basically like a upside down version of the regular Millennium Falcon. It's pretty interesting. I think it's a really cool idea. And I saw some polls on YouTube recently just talking about it. And it seems like most people really like it, but there's a few like diehard fans that are like pissed about it, who are like, this is schlop. I only want more accurate stuff. I think it's sick. I think it's fun. Like, you don't like it? You don't like it?
Yeah, no. Okay. So I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily like a diehard fan anymore, but just looking through the images here, like basically, like just to describe anyone who's only listening and they're not watching, like it's like a dark Millennium. It's just like a Millennium Falcon, but like black and red, and then you've got like Jabba, not Jabba, sorry, Jar Jar Binks, who's like got a dual-sided like lightsaber, double-ended lightsaber like Darth Maul. It just and so like for me again, like we've had this discussion before. For me again, it's just like. I can't help come back to, like, you know what I'm like, and it's the exact same. It's just my personality across the board. I'm just a stickler for just like conformity. I am a very, 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 very like rules and regulation type thing. Process driven is maybe like what I'd say. Like I did my degree in industrial design and technology, but I'm not necessarily creative in that I can like come up with. I'm creative through a means of brute force of like brute forcing creativity to get creative solutions, and so it's like a lot of rules and processes and principles that I kind of follow. And when I see something like this, I'll show it again on screen. When I see something like this, I just think like, why? Like I just like why this? Like it's not. It just doesn't feel like it's tethered to anything, and it just kind of feels like this to me feels like it's just being pushed as like purely as a mechanism to generate sales rather than like honoring like the actual content and like creating something that actually exists within the universe, like as it was told.
You know what? I can appreciate that viewpoint. Like I really do. I don't want to make it sound like I'm not like, you know, I hate what Star Wars has become in so many ways. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm a shill for Star Wars or Lego, because the amount of like cash outs and stuff like that they do is ridiculous. But I think that this in particular for me, just looking through the images, flipping through them, it brings back a fun element to Star Wars, especially the Lego side of Star Wars, that I think a lot of corporations are too afraid to do. I think that this is very reminiscent of early 2000s and 90s Star Wars that we grew up with, like having like freaking Jedi Bob and stuff like that. Like the fact that we're getting weird minifigures, weird concepts, and not the same thing over and over and over again. I think it's really cool. I really enjoy this for the sheer fact that Lego is trying something new and they don't feel like they have to conform to strictly canon and lore and stuff like that. And I think it's fun. I think don't do this every single year. I think the fact that this is a one-time thing, you know, it hasn't been done in a number of years. Any fun elements of Lego Star Wars like this, they really haven't been done in years. And so I think it's perfect. Like every 5 years, give us a wacky set like this. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be for like, you know, really just for fun. I think that's awesome. I really like it. And I mean, the minifigs, come on, dude. Like Beach Luke, Darth Jar Jar becoming like somewhat a part of Star Wars lore is really fun. White Vader is kind of cool. I don't really give a crap about Rey, I'll be honest.
Nobody does.
It is what it is. Yeah. But like I enjoy it for the sheer fact that it is zany and that Lego is going out on a limb, and I can appreciate that they're not being super boring like a lot of other companies are.
You know what? I totally appreciate that angle that you're taking there. I really do, actually. Like I've not really got much to say against that. Like, again, like I say, I suppose it's like, yeah, it is a bit fun, and I suppose it is a bit different. But the issue I've got, and again, like, you have actually convinced me to some degree. To be quite frank, you have convinced me to some degree on that.
Let's go.
I'm less opposed to it now than I was based on your argument. However, the issue I take with this sort of thing is it follows a pattern of behavior from like Lego Star Wars content that I don't like. In that, I don't think they've done this to be fun and creative, and because it's a bit different. Like, and I think they've done this because they think that it's gonna basically
they want money.
Yeah, and it basically. It's something that's like people are basically like, I've already been told, Scott, you need to get this because it's going to be worth so much in the future. And then when you look at like some of the other things they've done, like that new like Phantom Menace one, where for some reason it's got like a character from the sequels in it, the like Saul Guerrero.
That's
or
a
whatever
pure
his name is.
money grab.
Yeah, it just
100%.
So this for me, like if I had the trust and the faith in the company, and they had a history of creating like fun things and just being like a little bit like being serving like the community, like, great. I think I would be more on board with this. The problem I've got is that they have absolutely ruined like Star Wars as far as I'm concerned, and are now just trying to like cash in with as much as they can possibly get their hands on. So I suppose when it comes down to it, if you were to like summarize my feelings on specifically this here, like, again, looking through it, I'm not necessarily opposed to like it, like the set on its own. I'm more opposed to just like the company, like the direction that the company has been taking and the reason why they're producing this. Like, and I think if this was to do really well, if this was to do incredibly well, all it's going to do is incentivize more crash grab like behavior. It's basically producing sets that people have to buy, sort of thing, like, or people feel like they have to buy anyway, which is just kind of like, I feel like it's a little bit like manipulative and scummy, like marketing strategies. But yeah, you have convinced me to some degree, because you're right, it is fun and it is interesting. And like, if you look back at the original like Star Wars Lego games, like, they had a lot of soul, they had a lot of personality, and they were really fun. If you remember like the cutscenes, that kind of stuff, the cutscenes were always like, they were always rogue, they were always funny, they had life and soul. And I suppose this theoretically would be a nod to that, but it's just, I feel like it's just the corporation's just not there, personally.
I agree. I think you've made a really good point, honestly. And I think the problem is that Lego doesn't have a huge history of doing this. And with recent Lego sets being super cash grabby and them raising the prices so much, I think your point does hold some serious weight to it. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough impasse where, like, as a fan who likes zany, weird stuff and weird crossovers and stuff like that, I'm like, hell yeah, this looks sick. But at the same time, I get what you're saying completely, where it's like, yeah, this is pretty cash grabby. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've got another one. So.
Oh, wait. By the way, Scott, wait, hold on.
Okay.
We gotta clap again because I hit my recording limit on the webcam.
Oh, let's sink it in. Let's go. Right. You ready? You count me down. Count me down.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Professionals at work, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you subscribe for.
Let's go.
Right. You've got another one. Star Wars TIE Fighter.
Yes, sir. Let me pull her up. So, this is one that I think we did know about, that they're basically doing this dual set where you can rebuild it to a TIE Wing and an X-Fighter.
Right.
So you get your TIE Fighter and your X-Wing. And again, this is a very 90s thing they used to do where, like, they'd give you alternate build sets and stuff like that.
Right.
I recently built the old school MTT, and they gave you, like, a way to make it into, like, a Transformer, which was kind of sick. I think the difference is back in the day, they would just include that as a for fun thing.
Yeah.
And in this, it's being used as a marketing tool
Yeah.
to sell more. And I'm sure there's a price increase due to it as well. So one thing being like, oh, that's kind of fun, that's kooky. And then now it's like, oh, hey, by the way, this is like worth more because you can do this. And I think that's a little bit cringe. And also, who wants a TIE Wing or an X-Fighter? I'll be honest. Like,
yeah, they look
probably
bad.
as a kid.
They look really bad, actually, don't they?
As a little kid, I probably would have done this once, but then when I displayed them or when I actually played with them as a kid, I probably would have just reverted it back, you know?
Yeah.
It's a gimmick, and I don't think it's a long-lasting gimmick, you know?
Yeah, I would say I'm like less opposed to this because like again I take your point on this but like I think the fact that they are still like it's a TIE fighter and an X-wing, like you still have just a TIE fighter and an X-wing and some good minifigures to go with it. Like based on purely that, like I think it's totally fine. Like and I think like but yeah, like you say, I just don't really feel like there's even any need to like promote the rebuild to TIE Wing and X Fighter because this is Lego. Yeah. This is literally basically the entire purpose of Lego. It's supposed to be completely universal and interchangeable.
Yeah, you can just do this on your own. Like you don't need to advertise it as that. It's a known fact you could do this.
So
and on top of that, you're right. I mean, like I think this set that is purely a gimmick, and they have the little rebuild the galaxy thing. So clearly they're trying to market this as like a brand going forward.
Right.
It's like just throw it inside in the instructions.
Yeah.
You don't need to advertise it as this whole thing. It's like it's an X-Wing TIE Fighter dual pack. I think that's good enough on its own. You don't need the extra little, hey, rebuild this. Like throw it in as a bonus. Like, you know, what happened to little bonuses? I sound like such a boomer, but like in products in the past, you'd be like surprised by like, oh, look, I can build this into a Transformer. That's really cool. They didn't tell me that. But now it's like it doesn't exist. It's always a sales point. They will never give you extra for the sake of it. It will always be a marketing tool.
Yeah. Well, to play devil's advocate with this, like fundamentally speaking, we're still getting a TIE Fighter and an X-Wing, and
so it's solid. Those are classics.
Like, from their perspective, if this feels like a unique thing that could maybe try and like increase the sales of this, but you're still getting the same functional model anyway. Like to play devil's advocate, I can kind of see the justification for it. But you're right. Like you're still right. Like the element of like surprise and creativity is kind of like isn't quite there like it used to be, I suppose. And this would have been a nice treat inside. But then again, like this might perform worse and generate less sales if they didn't specifically advertise that element. So we're getting the same thing, and they've just chosen to market an extra thing on top of it. So long as the price increase isn't if the price isn't way above what it should be as a result, then fine, I guess. Like, why not have at it?
Yeah.
Like, nobody's gonna do this. Like, they look stupid anyway. Like, who's actually gonna do this? I mean, like, so fundamentally, fine, have at it. I mean, but so long as they don't try and make this into a thing, like rebuilding the galaxy. If if they'd be getting away from like the whole point of these sets, if you're completely moving away from like, I don't know, at that point, why not just artificially create stuff that never existed in the universe anyway, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've said all I need to on this. Like, it's there. I don't really care. Really.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts too. But I think we should move on to the next one, which I think is fire, and I don't think... I think we'll finally have a set we'll actually agree on, Scott. I don't know.
I think we agreed on the last one.
We'll find out.
I think we agreed on the last one, but let's have a look. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you were playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But I think this is a 10 out of 10 set in my eyes, and that is going to be the Minecraft crafting table. I think this is so sick. I love this concept. It's a micro Minecraft world within a crafting table. And it comes with a lot of little Easter eggs, like all the different little nameplates for the flashcards that go on the Minecraft starting screen that you can go ahead and swap out. I think that's really cool. You can basically transplant all these different little microbiomes across the crafting table, so you make it your own.
Yeah.
It has just so much, and I like how in this one they don't advertise that. It's just obvious.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, it's Lego, you could do that. There's no advertisement of that. You got the little mobs you can place all around or display. You know, they give you a villager, a cow, a skeleton, a creeper, a witch. They give you a wide variety of everything. You've got Steve and Alex, obviously, and then you can just display it. You can just display it as a pure crafting table if you want to, or as this, micro world. I think this is awesome. I think this is a huge win. And then if you take the entire set off, it's like a little Minecraft map underneath it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so we don't agree.
It's to what extent we agree. Like, I do like this.
Okay.
I do like this. I think it's good. I think it's cool. I think it has, like, it's got substance. It's unique. And I really, really appreciate the idea. I do think this is good. Where I feel like they've maybe just missed the trick ever so slightly, to me, I feel like just the scale. Like, I feel like it's just not quite big enough to like actually
it's too small.
Yeah, in order to pull off what it's actually trying to do. Like, it's a crafting table, but it's literally like, it's only like, what's this? Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, it's 8, so it's what, like 18 studs, 18 studs by 18 studs by 18 studs. Like, it's just not, it's not big enough, I don't think. Like, I don't know, but maybe, I mean, they're probably trying to hit like price targets and all that kind of stuff as well. So I totally appreciate that. And again, I like it. It's unique. It's interesting. I just think if it was double the size, because for me, looking at those like each of those little environments, as you pull out each of those little mini environments, like, yeah, independently they look okay. So like the ice biome, and then you get little like cherry blossom area, and like and then you got like the spruce with like the mountain. But when you actually merge it all together, honestly, it just looks like a bit of a mess. And I think part of the problem is because it's not big enough to actually have like clearly identifiable regions within it. I think this needed to be double the size. Like, to be quite frank.
Yeah. So you notice it is 1,200 pieces. So you think maybe like if it was like 2,000, that might like hit the target maybe?
Well, no, because so if it doubles, so like I guess like if you double the actual like the dimensions of it, like I believe, if I'm not mistaken, like you would like quadruple the actual volume. So like in theory, if you were to double the size of it, it would be something like 4,500 pieces. That sort of thing.
That'd be like a $400 set.
Yeah, but I feel like that's what this needed. It's a crafting table with an entire environment in it. Like, that would have given it the size it needed to be like truly I don't know, to find its full form, because at the minute inside of it just looks like a mess. So again, I don't fully disagree with you at all here. I like the idea. I think it's really creative, and this is a great Minecraft product. No two ways about that. I just feel like the execution, it really needed to be double the size. That's all I'm saying.
I do like that. I am always the like, I'll take anything. I am the happy consumer, and you're like the, oh no. There's something wrong with this one.
Well, it's not. It's I mean, I suppose like that's. I suppose that you can see that in like our like my content as well. I'm very hyper critical, but like in a productive manner. Like, again, I still appreciate the value this has. I just think it could have been. Bigger and better.
I think it's a good dynamic we have. I think it's good because, like, you keep me in check and you're like, no, well, think about it for a second. This, and then I am like, just have some fun every once in a while.
Yeah. I don't know. It is also like good that we like. I've known you for so many years now that I to be honest, I never really valued or cared about your opinion anyway. But we're comfortable disagreeing with each other, and it makes for more interesting conversations. Can you imagine if every single build we pulled up here? Can you imagine if everyone we pulled up on screen here, we were just like, oh yeah, class, love that.
Yeah. That'd be way more boring. No, you're completely right. Speaking of controversy, I do have another little nugget of Lego controversy for us.
Right.
So let me go ahead and pull up.
You'll have to send it to me.
Yeah, I know. All right, so the Venator UCS Lego set.
Right.
It released on Lego.com. I thought it was only $600. It's a $650 set. That's absurd. I mean, that is extraordinarily expensive. I just sent it to you. You get 2 minifigures. It's 5,300 pieces. So basically, going by the old classic rule that is applying less and less these days, it should be about $10 per 100 pieces.
Right.
This breaks that rule by quite a bit. So it's an extra $130 past that rule. So realistically, I think this should be a $500 set maximum with 2 minifigures included.
Only
that
2.
being said,
it's a robbery in it.
Yeah, this is expensive. But that being said,
cool,
it is a baller set.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this thing. It's beautiful. I want it. I'm not going to lie, but I'll probably wait until they have a sale, which will come eventually. But on top of that, the big drawing point of this was the 2 minifigures. You got Admiral Yularen here, who looks pretty nice. It's just a clean minifigure, but there's not that much you can do with him. He's an admiral. And then you've got your Captain Rex minifigure, which honestly, this version of Captain Rex, I do not like that much. I think it is a worse variant of Captain Rex that we've gotten in a long time. We've only gotten 2 others, but this is one of the worst ones.
Right.
He just doesn't look fantastic. And the idea was, and this Lego kind of sneakily almost promoted this way, in a way, because in their past sets, they've always had exclusive UCS minifigures that they never reprint again. So it's like, yes, you're paying $600, but coming in it is going to be a $100 minifigure in the future kind of a thing. You can, have your problems with that in and of itself, but, they kind of promoted that this way too, where, you're getting Admiral Yularen and this variant of Captain Rex with the $650 set. But then they reprinted the Rex a year later in a Y-Wing bomber that sells for $13.
No
so now
way.
People bought this Captain Rex. Yeah, they bought it for $100. And now it's worth like $5.
Did they specifically promise that it would never be printed again? Because if they did, and they've like undercut the market with that, like surely they're liable to some extent. Like, was it just verbal promise or what? Like, because that is a problem.
I think the thing of it was, and this is what a lot of people are arguing back and forth about, is a lot of people are saying, hey, this is how it's worked in every other UCS. So it's implied that it's going to work that way in this one too.
Right.
So it's an implied promise. It was not a strict promise. So that's where I'm like, yeah, to be fair, they never said that. And that's what I think a lot of people are saying. But the other people who feel kind of burned by it are like, but it's worked that way with every other set.
Yeah.
The LAAT gunship has an exclusive Mace Windu. That A-Wing bomber has an exclusive Rebel pilot. All of these different sets. And to be fair, Admiral Yularen is still exclusive now, but the big one everyone wanted to be exclusive was Captain Rex. So that's a big part of it, was people are kind of pissed about that. I think I have mixed feelings about this.
Okay, explain. Tell us.
All right, and then you can tell me your thoughts as well.
Yeah.
For me, for one, I think if you're paying $650 for a Lego set, I think the minifigures inside said set, at least a few of them, should be exclusive.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool thing. I think that exclusivity, while it does drive the secondary market, which some people have a problem with, I think if you're dropping that much money on a set, it's nice to get things from that set that are like, oh, this is a big get. Like, this is very cool, and, it adds value to it. However, I do understand Captain Rex is a very loved figure, and people want him more accessible. And I wanted him more accessible too. I don't want to drop $100 on a Lego Captain Rex. So simultaneously, I'm like, yes, there should be Captain Rex within a $10 set to make him acquirable for people. Kids aren't going to be able to get Captain Rex at $650. That's absurd. So I really do think, yes, he needs to be available. I think all they needed to do in this case was make the Captain Rex that's $10, maybe have some different markings on him, some battle armor damage, or maybe they have a different head or something, just make it different by even the slightest amount. Captain Rex has a ton of different variants in his armor. Just change it a little bit to keep this exclusive, but it's literally just a one-to-one reprint. And I think that is where I see a huge problem in this, is that they could have very cheaply made a slight difference and kept everybody happy, given the people a cheap Rex to acquire, while simultaneously keeping one exclusive, but instead they just reprinted one for one, kind of screwed over the people that bought the UCS and made them all pissed off. I don't really feel bad for the scalpers who bought this, trying to flip them and make a buck, but I do feel bad for the collectors who were like, oh, this is really cool, this is a big draw as to why I want to buy this, and then they buy it. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, so I would okay, so look, again, so here's what I would say. Like, I believe personally that if Lego has set, if like these Lego Star Wars purchases have set a precedent, that, let's say, for example, I'm not sure how many there are, but if every single other one has set the precedent that that's going to be a unique minifigure that won't be sold again, and then a lot of people are buying it specifically for that minifigure, like collectors and storage and gaining value over time, all that kind of stuff, I think Lego has a responsibility to the community that if that has been the precedent for all of the builds, and then they're breaking it, I believe that they have a responsibility to the community to clearly communicate that will not be the case. So I think one of two things has happened. Either it's negligence and they just don't care about enough about the community in order to have actually registered the problem in the first place, which I would say is just, again, an indication of just the corporate nature of the marketing pattern that we've been seeing like for quite some time now, which is a possibility. Or B, it's not negligence and it was an intentional sales marketing strategy in order to generate sales on that cheaper product, because this one had already served its life cycle or got a significant amount of purchases or whatnot. Regardless of whether or not it's negligence or whether or not it was an intentional marketing strategy, I think that in both of those cases, all it does is just purely show how out of touch they are with the community, or how little they care about the community to undercut it that much. If they've set a precedent on every single one of them, and then they break that precedent, they have to communicate that. It becomes an expected. Yeah, it's their responsibility as a community. Let's try and think of a more relatable example that's outside of this. Okay, so imagine you go to I don't know, you go to a shop for 2 years straight, and every single day it's buy one get one free, or you get something from it, you get credit or that kind of stuff from the shop, and then just suddenly one day they stop doing that. Instead of letting all the customers pass through expecting they're going to get that extra thing free or get some store credit or all that kind of stuff, if they've set a precedent for multiple years of that happening and then they stop doing it, I believe they have a corporate responsibility to specifically communicate that they're not doing that anymore. Now, I believe personally, I think what's probably happened here is I think that they knew they weren't going to do that, and the reason why they didn't communicate it to people is because it would have reduced the sales of that specific product. So what I mean by that is this Venator class Republic attack cruiser. I think if they had said, oh, by the way, this Captain Rex, if they'd come out specifically saying this Captain Rex wouldn't be exclusive, I think there would have been a tangible drop in sales, and so therefore they intentionally decided to just not mention it, which is what I personally believe has happened. Again, we don't know. Again, it could be negligence or it could be malicious. Regardless of what it is, I think it's a problem, to be quite frank.
Yeah, I think, and to be fair to Lego, I just did a search. It seems like the vast majority of UCSs do have some sort of exclusive product, but it is not necessarily the rule. So
right.
While I think the fact that people assumed that this was going to be exclusive shows that there is a precedent for that, it is not a strict rule. However, when it is a named character like this that we haven't seen in a long time or before, they tend to be exclusive. So I do think Lego should have come out and said, we're going to be printing this again. This is not exclusive. I think that was necessary. But I could see people letting them off the hook for it. It is a very gray area thing where it's in some ways it definitely was a little bit scummy, and in other ways it's I guess, I think it's a tricky one.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I mean, if there isn't, like, if it is true that there isn't as consistent a precedent being set, but like again, like you say, because there's the expectation there from the community, it would just to me communicate how out of touch they are with the community they're producing these products for. If that expectation has been built and then they have undercut it. Now, to your point earlier about like just minor alterations to make sure it's unique, the only difference really, if I'm not mistaken, between like a Cloud City Boba Fett and a Jabba's barge Boba Fett is like some minor markings on the legs. Is that correct? It's just the legs, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much right. I have a knockoff one right here on my desk.
And all that does is it communicates to the viewer. It communicates, not to the viewer, sorry, to the purchaser that is from that set and therefore has this value. It's not because it like looks way better that it's more valuable. It's because it's more rare and because it's exclusive. And so they could have very, very, very easily just taken purely just the legs. All they needed to do was just put a different bit of detail on the legs. That is it. That is all. Something to make sure it's like that is like an identifiably different product. And you'd be off to the races. The fact that they didn't put that minor bit of effort in is just either out of touch or malicious intent. Regardless, like so yeah, I think it is a problem. Like I think that is a problem, and I think like you say again, coming back to like the fundamentals of this, if you're spending $650 or whatever that is, like 500 quid on a product like that, like come on. Those minifigures should be unique. Like, come on.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's only two of them. If there's only two minifigures in it, they should be
That's
bespoke.
the brutal part.
Yeah.
There should be extra clone troopers as well. Like something. Like, that's just not enough value right there.
Yeah.
And I think it's a bigger problem across the LEGO community. And it's like, there's a lot of back and forth where some people are like, I hate exclusivity no matter what. I do not want anything to ever be exclusive. I want minifigures to be max $5 no matter what. I kind of sit on the opposite end where it makes collecting more fun to have the potential for something to be worth more in the future and to have something exclusive like that. I think no major characters should be locked behind a paywall. You know, I don't think there should only be, and this is how it was in the past, a $200 Captain Rex, and that's the only option for it. I think there should be, you know, the really cool exclusive $200 Captain Rex. I think that's fine. Yeah. But have the cheaper option available, and they can be, you know, both great quality. It's like you said, Lego City Boba Fett. There is the really expensive $2,500 Lego City Boba Fett, but there's a billion other Boba Fetts you can buy for cheap. And I think that is perfect. It's like, there's something for the collectors, and then there's something for people that just want Boba Fett. I think there can be both worlds, but it's a weird thing where, you know, collectors and scalpers and stuff like that want it to only be expensive. They want everything to go up. And then there's the other people on the opposite spectrum who are like, I don't want anything to ever be expensive. I want this to be cheap forever. And like, I get both sides. I do. But I think I sit somewhere in the middle.
I don't particularly get both sides, to be quite honest. I think that and I agree with you. I agree with you about like sitting in the middle. Like people having access to build armies out, I think is incredibly important at like an affordable price. Like think about like kids just getting sets and wanting to get some minifigures in all that kind of stuff. Like I don't see any rational argument for taking like affordable minifigures away from like young or like people that don't have as much money. I don't really see a rational argument for that other than just pure greed, like from the collectors and stuff. But similarly, like if you still have like these cheaper minifigures that you can build armies with, like I also don't see any problem with having these more exclusive, like higher end ones for collectors, because that is a legitimate interest. So I don't really see any argument like to fully justify like removing either of the two. I think they've got a good balance at the minute. For example, you could make that same argument about this UCS build. The whole point about like UCS sets is that they're like bigger, more complicated collector's items. And I think a lot of the packaging, in fact, actually specifically even says, if I'm going to pull it back up here, ultimate ultimate collector series. Like, so they've got this sort of stuff that's available to like the masses. They've got smaller, more affordable builds, but then they've also got much more expensive ones that are for collectors. And I think they're serving both sides of the community, and no two should be denied their like access to it. I think, yeah, like why not serve everyone? Like, if you can, like, what's the point in removing one? So yeah, that's my
I think that's just an overall problem with like discourse now on the internet, is people have trouble taking the middle ground and understanding that like there can be multiple wants and needs fulfilled, and so people are like either yes or no completely. There's no like, there should be both. It's like, no, this is the worst and you're a scumbag if you think that this should be $1,000. It's like, no, you can have your cake and eat it too in this instance. Like, relax.
Yeah, you know? I think it's just like tribalism as well, isn't it? Like people like it just like. So I need to stop saying like so much. It's making me mad. But people are incapable of having normal discourse. I think it's because everything is now online and you don't have like face-to-face conversations so much. Like you and I, like I've got like a very good relationship, and so we can be very, very honest with each other. But I would like to think I act like this with other people as well. But part of the problem is when you're online and you're just sending messages to somebody, you like so little is communicated through a message that like you don't pick up on any of the nuances. It's like you could misinterpret the way that they're saying that. So for example, you could send one message and I'm sending it like with a smile on my face, laughing, thinking this is funny, but they've had a bad day and they read that exact same message and it comes off as standoffish or like offensive. So little is communicated via like message and email and all that kind of stuff, that one step above that is phone. But even on the phone, you're still missing all the facial expressions, and so people just end up like thinking the worst of every single conversation. Even just the punctuation people use in messages they're sending to each other. It's like, oh, he used a full stop, he must be angry. Maybe he just uses full stops. maybe he just So yeah, I think most people would have more rational, less tribal discussions if they were to have them in person. But it's just internet culture at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like that Key and Peele sketch, if you ever saw it, where they're like texting and they keep on like reading it in different ways. One's like, oh, that's so nice of him, and the other's like, that guy's such an asshole.
Yeah, I remember that. He's like, I'm gonna kill him. That's like that's a good sketch. It is a good sketch, but it is so true as well. Like people totally can misinterpret and take things, and also take things out of context as well. And like you're trying to summarize like. That's part of the problem as well with like things being taken out of context, even messages or clips or anything like that, because you miss all the nuance and the intent if you just take something. So if you get like a screenshot of this person said this about this Lego product, then it just looks like he's like, I don't know, it just can look so much more incriminating than that person probably intended it to be. And people just get at each other's throats for it. It's just quite cringe, to be honest.
It is indeed quite cringe. I agree.
Daley, we need to actually like come to an agreement over collaborating on a video at some point, because we've spoken many times about doing a Lego
Scott,
video. Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. My recording just.
Ran out of space. We're gonna sync it back in.
All right. Ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Wow, professionals at work. Right. I won't
have this problem in the future.
A timeline. I want to commit to an actual timeline, but also we issued a Lego competition during the last podcast, which I think we forgot to actually effectively promote. So we should probably do that again this time.
Yes, sir.
So we need to make those announcements. It's going to be all the same rules. We'll make announcements in our Discord servers and whatnot, so that we can get involved, and then we'll serve that into the next podcast. Again, like I've been off doing like phase 1 training with the army, and Daley's been moving house, so it's not been the best. The best circumstances for us getting a reliable schedule for this sorted. So we will get that sorted. Again, we'll put the information in the description. But before we do anything else, I really want to actually physically commit to a collaboration video. We've had a lot of things that we've discussed. I mean, we've discussed before doing a Revolutionary War Lego build. And we've also discussed again previously doing like a Vietnam one, and we've had a lot of ideas, but we never officially commit to a timeline. And I want to do that here today. So, what's your thoughts? What do you think we should do?
All right, we've had a lot of ideas. Yeah, so Vietnam, American Revolution, and then the other one was a World War II mystery box. If you
Yes,
remember.
yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah. Which, man, I mean, oh, Scott. Should we have the people vote? Maybe
That's not a bad idea. Comments down below.
that could be kind of neat.
That could be quite a good idea.
That could be kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What do you think we should collaborate on? Quite literally, like, what video should we collaborate on? And we'll come up with a few ideas, and then I suppose we'll decide on which is the most popular, I guess. It could be awful.
Yeah, because I'd honestly be down to do pretty much any of those. They all sound really fun. I think we could both make individual videos for each that are their own interesting way of doing it, but also, like, connected. I don't know. I think it would work for sure.
Well, I'll make a community post.
But
should. I don't know. We should announce it. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I think we should just pull the community. I'm leaning right now towards American Revolution because I haven't done that yet. And I have like a few ideas that we could do. Like you could do full on like battle, since your channel is much more geared towards like battle stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and then like mine could be like after your battle is done, maybe there's a zombie apocalypse or something like that.
Right.
I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff where like we could each build a fortress, or like one of us could build a fortress, the other could do like a bridge battle, like just do different stuff. It could be kind of fun.
And maybe like have like specific minifigures within that we can like track through like the stories. Like literally like my minifigure, it goes through like my battle, and then maybe like it's like the battle immediately after it, or it's like literally yours is like a different part of the same battle. This minifigure then goes off to that second bit of the battle and he's back in the fight, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's a lot we could do with it. There's a lot we could do with it, and I definitely want to do something. I mean, you've been in you've been in the last 5 of my LEGO videos, I think. But I want to do something that's more like a more of a substantial collaboration, because we haven't actually done that yet on the LEGO channels yet, I don't believe.
Yeah, I think that'd be a banger. I think that would go well.
So, that's a good place to round it out then, I guess. Like, comment down below if
sir.
you've got anything that you want us to collaborate on. Like any video ideas, just get them down below. It's something that we could do together. Like, literally just be as creative or interested as you can. And again, in the description, we're going to put down, like, the competition. I think it's like a Star Wars, Clone Wars mock picture submission thing that we announced in the last podcast, which we're now going to do in this one. And again, of course, make sure you're subscribed, and subscribe to both of our channels, and join our Discords.